Recording in progress.
Hi, morning. Wow, I see
Morning.
some early birds that has been waiting in the waiting room for a long time
Is
already.
it? So that
Hi, Yi-Wei, Desmond, Francis, Jacqueline, Sandy. Okay, sorry, a lot more coming in, so I cannot finish reading all the names. Okay, yeah. Yu Peng, Ping Yong. Hi. Good morning. Thank you very much for being on time. We will start the webinar in about approximately 5 minutes time. So still got time to go and grab a cup of coffee, sit down, chit chat, relax, and then we will start the webinar soon. Yeah. By the way, today's webinar is about sales order processing. For those of you, I suppose that you've read our EDM, electronic direct mailer. It's talking about the order processing. So today we will be showcasing quite a fair bit of those. So yeah, for those of you who are keen, do reach out to your account manager as well. You can put it in the group chat, and then we can actually get people to the account manager to come and contact you on that. Okay, I think I'm seeing some familiar names coming in. Okay, people that have attended the previous webinar before. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, this is actually the second run of the previous webinar. It's the second part of the previous webinar. The first part, we actually talk about the smart proof of delivery system, meaning that the whole entire proof of delivery is actually existing on the iPad. There's no more hard copy DO, hard copy, you get your customer to sign on the DO. So that was done about a month ago. Okay, we did that webinar about approximately 2 months ago. So if you are keen on that webinar itself, you can go and reach out to your account manager. We can send you the link. You can actually see that the video as well. But today we are here to talk about the hard copy documents, the hard copy DO that you still print out. Okay, I see more people trickling in. Good. Time check is 10:03. Yeah, 10:03. Yep. Let's see. Yep. Okay, more people are coming in. Yep. Thanks for those of you who are here early. Thanks for being on time. We will be starting the webinar in about approximately 2 minutes time. Yeah, please stay tuned. Don't worry. Can grab a cup of coffee and drink. Bit more people are coming in. Time check 10:04. 1 more minute. Yeah, as I was saying, for those of you who wants to see the part 1 of today's webinar, to talk about the full hybrid solution, to talk about the full digital solution, reach out to your account manager. We can share the link to the webinar in the part 1. Today, we are talking about part 2, which is the hybrid model, which you still need to print out the hard copy DO and then get your customer to physically sign and stamp on the hard copy DO before it is being processed digitally. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The time is 10:05. Let's start the meeting. Okay, let's start the webinar. Hi, good morning. Thank you very much once again for joining us. My name is Brandon. I'm the Solution Sales Manager. And on my left here, I have my partner in crime, Max Max
Hello.
is actually Canon's very own solution consultant. So he will be assisting me today to do a live demo of the proof of delivery system. Okay. So as you all know, the name of the webinar today is actually called Smartifying Your Sales Order Process. As I mentioned to the earlier birds, this is actually the part 2 of this particular webinar, where we talk about the hybrid model of the sales order process. Okay, if you are keen to understand the full digital version, which is you can do it on the iPad, please reach out to your account manager, and your account manager will send you the link to see the part 1 of today's webinar. So without further ado, let me just get some housekeeping out of the way. So by default, your video is turned off and you are muted. Okay, so this is by design. Okay, so if this whole webinar is also a recorded webinar, so similarly the link will be shared after the webinar has concluded. Reach out to your account manager if you want the link to kind of like, revisit or, understand the whole what we have discussed today. Maybe we are too quick. You want to slow it down a little bit and try to understand a bit more. Please reach out to your account manager. He or she will be able to share the link with you. So you cannot unmute yourself. So that's why if you have any questions, feel free to post it in the chat on the Zoom chat. Or there's actually, if you scroll down to the bottom screen, I hope I'm showing the bottom screen here. There's actually a Q&A button right at the end of the Zoom button. So click the Q&A, you can put your questions there as well. So lastly, if whatever solutions that you are seeing here today is interesting to you, please reach out to your account manager similarly, input in the Q&A or in the chat to tell us that you are keen, and we can arrange for a separate meeting to talk more. All right.
Yep.
So let's start. Okay, before I begin the webinar, I want to do a little bit of advertisement here first. Okay, so just to show you, what Canon has to offer. So for a start, naturally, I hope that you all are already using a Canon copier machine. If you don't, please, consider taking a Canon copier machine on the right-hand side. So of course, with the copier machine, we have software that is able to help you to manage the copier machine. So this is, we work with partners like Equitrack and Papercut. And we even have our own version of our print management software called Uniflow. But today, that's not the main aim of what we are going to show today, not print management. We are talking about the document lifecycle. We are talking about what are the software and solutions that Canon has to offer for the document lifecycle. After you create the document, what do you do with the document? So in the document lifecycle, in a nutshell, we actually classify it into 5 different stages, starting from creation, to manage, to process, to distribute, and lastly, to retire. So in every stages of the document itself, we have a way to, we have the software to help you to do the automation part. Okay, so starting from creation of capturing, I think Max, all of us, we create a lot of documents every day, starting from Outlook, from Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or even just taking a piece of paper and a pen. Okay, when you start scribbling something, that is the creation of the document. So once you create the document, how do you then capture the document, extract the information that is on that piece of paper, turn it into digital, and then push it into your backend system? So that's what we can do for you. So in this, these are the partners that we dealt with, Abby and Kofax. Okay, of course, we also are a partner of Microsoft to bring Microsoft 365 to our clients as well. And we have our own very own Iris Iris document extract software that is able to grab information like what I mentioned earlier from a piece of paper or even a soft copy PDF or a Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You want to extract certain indexes, we can help you to extract and pump into your backend system. So After you scan the document, what do you do with the document? You store it. Usually people will store it in their My Documents, on their desktop, or on the shared drive and things like that. But as you have more and more documents that you scan and archive, or documents that you don't even print right now, you straight away throw it into your My Documents for storing, it gets a lot more, and there's a lot of duplicates, and there's a lot of documents that will kind of like go missing within folders and subfolders. That's where you need a comprehensive document management software to help you to manage this document. And that's where Therefore comes in. Okay, Therefore again is a Canon owned software, and we can actually come in and help you to manage your documents. But today, we are going to show you a little bit of Therefore as well, because after the POD, after the delivery order goes out and comes back, when you scan it in, a copy of it will be saved inside the Therefore system. Of course, you can choose to store it in other manners, okay? But naturally, we will recommend to store it in Therefore, all right?
Of course.
Okay, so this is a HelloSign and DocuSign. So whatever documents, assuming if you have a legal contract, you have a agreement that you need the customer to sign, you can actually send it digitally to your clients to sign using HelloSign or DocuSign. Again, we partner with them, and you can actually legally get these documents signed and endorsed by the third party. Okay, so we also have Planet Press for the distribution of the document, which is the star of today's show. Okay, we are going to show you how the system will work, how the system helps you to, automate this process of distributing your delivery orders or invoices. Okay, and then we have Easy Share. If you need documents to kind of like, share large files to third party, we can actually work with Easy Share. Okay, lastly, we also have Power Automate and UiPath. This is robotic process automation. So I always joke to our clients, okay, robot vacuum cleaners, right? Robot vacuum cleaners is essentially to help you to kind of like, clean your floors and all these kind of things. So in work itself, there are certain processes that you can use, or rather you can use a robot to kind of like automate it, especially those mundane, repetitive, and manual and tedious work. You can actually deploy a robot to help you to take care of that. And we actually work with UiPath and Microsoft Power Automate to come in and do that. So again, if you are keen on all these things, please reach out to your account manager, and we will be able to come down and assist you on that. Okay. So let me just move on. Okay, let me move on to the agenda of what we will be sharing today. So we will start off with the order processing. Okay, I will touch a little bit about the common issues in the sales order process. Okay, and then followed by the live demo by Max. And then I will come back again to do a quick summary, and we will take some of the questions right at the end. Okay, so let me start off with the sales order process. Okay, so in the sales order process, it's very simple. Okay, I think every one of us has bought something on Lazada or on Shopee before, right? Okay.
Online shopping.
Online shopping. But again, the sales order process in the business world is a little bit different. It's not as simple as go to Lazada or Shopee, just click and buy and then expect it to come. You have to issue a purchase order. Correct? Yeah.
Yes, correct.
So after a purchase order is issued, you get a DO, and then you sign the DO, and then the invoice comes in, and usually you have 30, 60, or 90 days credit term to do the payment. So the whole process itself, let me just quickly run through. Okay, so the four light green icon that you see there is actually the buying process. As I mentioned to you, you issue a purchase order, you receive the goods, you sign the DO, and then you receive the invoice, and then after that you have to make payment for the invoice before the due date. Otherwise, you will get penalized for late payment charges. Okay, so on the opposite side of the spectrum, we have the four columns as well. From the seller perspective or from the supplier perspective, you have to process an incoming purchase order. After the purchase order is processed, you have to key into the system, and then you have to generate the DO. Okay, once you generate the DO, then you have to send the DO out together with the goods, and then before that you have to pick the picking list first lah. Okay, use the DO. Some people use the DO as a picking list. Okay, to pick the goods from the warehouse, and then after that send it to the third party, okay, third party delivery crew. Okay, after that, when the DO comes back, you have to process the DO in order to kickstart the invoice very quickly. Because as I mentioned earlier, the 30-day credit term will start the moment the invoice is being issued. So the earlier you send the invoice, the faster you can start the 30 days, and it is better for the company's this finance flow. Okay, so that is a very important. And of course, lastly you start the payment. So in between this, there's actually a lot of data that goes from one to the other. The purchase order data, the proof of delivery or POD data flows two ways. The invoice data flows, and then of course the check payment and all these things, the bank, all these statements and all these things will come in at a later stage. So this, in a nutshell, is how the sales order process works. So I'll hand the time over to Max, okay, to explain. Oh, sorry, before I hand the time over to Max first, I still got one more slide. Okay, the 4 common issues in the proof of delivery. Okay, let me just explain the issues that I've explained to you earlier. There's a legacy system of ERP system, usually for many companies. Okay, either you are using a very old ERP system, or you could be using Oracle or SAP, which is very expensive to customize. Okay, so because of that, a lot of time is actually spent on printing it out. And some customers that we approach, right, even print it out on dot matrix printers. Okay, dot matrix printer, for those of you who don't know, you have the perforated holes on the sides. And then after that, it will make a loud noise, just to print the documents. Yeah. So some customers are still doing that because they need 2-ply or 3-ply to come back. Okay. So, and then because of that, there's a lot of sorting, manual sorting of the packing list and the DO. Okay. And then the hard copy DO needs to be processed after it has come back. And then you have to key into the ERP system one by one to mark the delivery as completed. And then after that, you need to match the PO with the invoice in order to send, because most customers require, before you send the invoice to them, requires you to have the matching PO. Because if they don't see a matching PO, a signed PO, they will not make payment. They will say that I didn't receive this. I don't want to make any payment for the invoice. So the matching of the PO is very key, very crucial in this portion. And all this is being done manually. And with manual, there will be mistakes that could happen. There could be delays. And then if there's a delay, then things will not be good lah. Okay. So I will pass the time over now to Max to show you the demo. Yeah.
Okay. So thanks a lot, Brandon. So I will be taking over now on the screen. So before we go into the live demo, right, perhaps I will just go to a general view of the process flow so that you have an overview of what we are going to show you in the demo later. All right. So for the POD, the proof of delivery, there will be 5 stages that you see on this screen over here. So it starts off with transform. So this transform and manage print is that we will, from the SAP system, right, when you generate out the delivery order, so our solution will intercept in between to generate, to embed some of like the barcode or QR code on the document itself, is for us to keep track the going out, incoming and outgoing of this DO. Okay, then you will be seeing the third step over here, which is the scan back. So after that, we will do a collation of the documents, starting from the signed DO with the invoice, or let's say you have a SOA, we will attach all these documents into a single PDF. And then we will send out this document to customer directly via email. So in between, there is no any user manual interventions. So everything will be automated. Okay. Then last but not least, on the last stage over here, you will see the tracking. So this tracking is something like we have a dashboard. It's a web view, so that the backend admin, they will be able to monitor like how many DO is outgoing and how many has came back, and to keep track all the activities in and out of the documents. Okay, so before we go to that, the demo itself, so from the screen itself, you will see the current presence, how the customer is doing with their proof of delivery. So this is the standard present way that the customer will do. So starting off, the user go to the SAP or ERP systems to print out. So they will print out the hard copy of the DO tax invoice and all that and pass it to the delivery crew and go to the customer place, sign back, and then they will file the documents manually. So that is the pain point. The pain point here is whereby just now Brandon did share with you like hard to maintain or hard to retrieve the documents or document gone missing. Okay, so this is the present process flow. So now what we're going to show you is the future, what we are going to do with our solutions. So you will be seeing that there are two dotted box within this slide over here. So we will help you to digitize from the hard copy document. We will be generating out this soft copy document first to embed the QR code. So this QR code, we will be embedding with the DO informations as well. So later in the demo itself, we will show you how does it look like on this portion. Okay. Then after the signed DO has returned to the back office, right? So you will be the scan back process will still going. And then a copy, like what I mentioned, a copy will be sent out directly to customer via email. And then another copy will be directly sent into our document management system, which is called Therefore. Okay, so this is the whole process, end-to-end process that you'll be seeing in the demo short while. Okay, so without further ado, I will just straight go into the demo. Yep. Let me quickly switch over my screen over here. Okay, so now on the screen itself, you are seeing my virtual machine. So my solutions is all installed inside here. So I will just briefly describe on what is on the left folders and on the right folders here. Okay, so on my left folder here is where my sample document or the sample data that I'll be using throughout these demo sessions. Okay, on the right side over here is the input folder, whereby our solution will monitor these folders to check whether there is a new document has been imported into this folder. Okay, so basically this screen on here is basically running as a background. So user will no need to like manually go and drag and drop all this. So all will be done automatically on the back end. Okay.
So to add on to what Max has mentioned, because today's session we don't have a live this ERP system to use, so that is why we actually pre-configured all the ERP data to come out as a text file first. Okay, and then we don't have a physical scanner for us. They set up here for us to do the scanning. So that is why we will simulate the scanning experience through a click and drop. So what Max is mentioning to you is that in the actual view, there's no need for you to click and drag. Okay, so essentially when you print from the ERP system, it will straight away be printed into our Canon system directly. Okay, continue.
Thanks a lot, Brandon. So after if you can see on the left side over here, so this is the index data that we will be transforming into the templating DO. Later you will see on the actual template of this DO.
So this is the raw data from the ERP system,
yes,
right?
correct.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so before that, I will just log into this dashboard like what I mentioned in the last stage. So there is a tracking purpose. So this is the dashboard whereby a user or administrator, they will need to log in themselves. Okay. So inside this dashboard, right? So you are seeing here, they already have 5 existing DO inside this system over here. So we are trying to simulate. We will add in new 5 more delivery orders document into this dashboard over here. All right. So I'll just quickly go to this text file that we generated earlier, and then we go to the input folder called delivery order and paste this text file over here. So this is the raw data. Okay. Now it's gone. So it will be ingest into our dashboard over here. So it will take a little while for it to load.
So as you can see, the numbers on the blue box is actually increasing, right?
Yes,
correct. So that
correct.
means it's getting the data to come in. So this is a live dashboard that you can see the numbers actually increasing digitally.
Yes, correct. Okay, so now on the screen, you will see that just now we showed to you there is only 5 existing documents, and then we pump in the raw data in. So we have been created 5 more new documents. So on the top here, where you can see the summary, so we have created total of 10 delivery orders, and out of it, 10 is waiting for delivery. Okay, from the list over here is all the DO informations. You can see on the screen. So you will be seeing that, the row number 6 to row number 10 are the new document that we just generated from the raw data. So perhaps I will just click and preview one of the delivery orders that we have just created. Okay, yeah. So this is the templating that we mentioned. So from a raw data, we will put it nicely into all this template over here, and also some automation that we have just mentioned about that we will intercept in between to embed the QR code.
Wow,
so you will be
okay.
seeing all these QR code.
So wait a minute, Max. I just want to have a quick question.
Yep.
So what I'm seeing here is the raw data from the text file just now. When you throw it into the system, so the system will automatically lay out this format for me. Am I
Yes,
right to say
exactly.
that?
Correct.
Okay. So I can customize. I don't want to see the OL Acme. I want to customize it with my company logo. It's possible.
Yes, of course. All these are configurable, and based on the customer's requirement, we are able to do some templating based on their needs.
Okay. So will I be able to even customize to a certain, like for example, if I'm selling to NTUC, for example, and they need a specific format. So can I customize that when I generate this for NTUC, it will be in an NTUC accepted friendly format?
Of course, just that let's say they provide to us, we are able to do that, then we will incorporate into the.
Wow, that's very powerful then. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yep. If not, Brandon, just a quick question. Did you aware something that is different in this DO?
I see a few QR codes, okay, on the top and the bottom, left and right, and one even in the middle. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So you have a quite sharp eyes over here. Okay. So the main purpose that we created like few QR code within this DO is not that we are kiasu. So do you know what is the reason or rationale behind this? That we have just created like so much of QR code.
I have no idea. I thought the QR code is on the I thought that it's just something that you do it on purpose.
Okay, so yeah, just a quick one. So the main idea behind that we created so much of this QR code over here just as a backup purpose. So for example, let's say in one of the DO, it just have one QR code, right? Like you know that if delivery crew that go out, maybe some watermark stain that has been placed in between or just on within this QR code itself, right? Then it will be like broken QR code already, so we are not readable. So just as a backup or contingency plan, so we have created like one or two more. But
so that's a very thoughtful design, Max. Yeah. So in the event, because not all delivery crew will be very careful with the paper. Some of them will be torn, some of them will be spilled with coffee stains, some will be accidentally, scraped off or things like that. So essentially speaking, what you're saying is that to have a feel safe, or rather in your own words, kiasu way of doing it, you create actually three of the same QR on the top and the bottom of the documents. Okay,
yes,
cool.
correct. Okay,
Understand.
so one more thing is also about that a bracket QR code that you're seeing on the screen over here. So this is the scratch for discrepancy. Basically, for this QR code over here, if let's say there is some dispute or there is some item or goods is not being delivered on the time that the delivery crew go out to the customer side, so they will just scratch off this, and then you will see something alerts in the system itself.
Okay, wow, that's a very thoughtful design again.
Yes.
Because a lot of our customers actually do come to us with this request and ask us and say that, hey, because not all delivery is perfect. Some delivery will come back with broken items, damaged goods, or maybe they ordered the wrong thing, or we delivered the wrong thing.
Yep.
So essentially what you're saying is that this is like a scratch and win kind of a scenario where I scratch it or scratch an alert lah. Maybe I should put it scratch an alert. So when I scratch this, essentially I will tell the back end office that this delivery is you need to take attention on it lah.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Correct. Okay, we will be simulating this scenario in a while also. Okay,
cool.
So this is just that the look and feel of the templating of the delivery orders. Okay, so back to the main dashboard over here. I'll just close this preview first. Okay, so now I'm going to simulate to you. Let's say the document, the DO, has been sent out to the crew, and then the crew has delivered the goods to the customer, and then the customer, of course, they need to sign on the DO once they receive the goods. So when I open up this document, it's basically just to simulate to you the delivery order that customer has signed on the document itself. okay, then you will be seeing this also, which is as we just mentioned, scratch for discrepancy. And then I will show it to you later on the screen. Okay, now back to this dashboard over here, you will see that 10 DO has been going out and we are waiting for the documents to return, the signed DO to return, and then you will see some status changes over here. Now I'm going to do is I will just take this scan DO and I will go to the scan DO folder and I paste this document here. Okay, I'll just take one of the DO first. So now back to the dashboard, I will do a quick refresh so that you will see that one signed DO has returned. So you will see that one is shown as completed and 9 is still out there, haven't come back yet. Okay, so like you mentioned, like Brendan, just a quick thoughts. So what do you see on the screen over here?
Okay, I see line number 10, it's marked as completed, but also I see a small alert icon there. Yeah.
Yes, correct. So the alert here, okay, is something like a flag for the backend administrator that will just to take note that, yeah, there is something that you need to aware and to alert what exactly happens to this specific delivery order. Okay, so once that, as a back office admin, I will just click on this specific document, the DO. I'll just click and see what exactly happens to this document. Okay, so for this particular DO, you will see that the first item is being struck off over here, and then they mention a note cancelled. Okay, so how we do that is that, like we have just shown to you earlier, so when you scratch, but it's not bin, but scratch to alert the backend, you need to do something with this particular line item here. Okay, all right, so this is just to serve you as an alert. Next, let's say the backend office admin, they have resolved, go to their system and check for the stock and maybe to do the second delivery and all that. So once that is completed, so the backend office, they can just click on this alert button over here, click on, and then they can remove this alert.
Oh, okay.
Then we can proceed to the next stage already. Okay. So while we remove the flag, you will be seeing that, okay, the flag is missing over here. It's gone already. Okay. So now, Brendan, maybe let me ask you a question again. I scare you have been left out. So what do you see on the screen currently?
Okay, I see that line item number 9 is completed, but now line number 1 actually has a partial status indicated. Yeah.
Okay, correct. So for the DO in row number 1 here, we have 2 pages of DO need to be signed by customer. So in the end, only the first page has been written. So this system will just wait for another copy to be written and it will mark it as complete.
Oh, so
it's a partial delivery.
Okay, so what you're saying is that this particular delivery itself has 2 DOs, 2 parts. So basically the first part has already been signed and come back already. So the second part is not signed and come back yet. Oh, okay. So that's why it is marked as partial.
Correct.
Well, this is very important because sometimes I think our customers, when they deliver, like, for example, I take the Fair Price example again. I send to 10 outlets of Fair Price. So essentially, it is the same delivery of the same items, but it's just that 6 has come back and 4 haven't come back. So it will still detect that it is partial completed. Okay, cool.
Yep.
I
so
like this.
If let's say when the DO is in the partial stage, you will not move to the next as complete basically. All right. So what I'm going to show you is that, let's say the second the signed DO has come back, which is I have another document which is the page 2 of 2. Okay, so this is the second DO that the partial DO is waiting for. So what I'm going to do is that I will just copy over this and then I paste it. So this is the second page. All right, so I will just do a quick refresh over here. Okay, now you will see that the partial status is gone already because the system already detect that, okay, there are 2 pages, 2 DOs and both has been written. So it will mark it as completed. Now you have seen that, okay, there are 3 DO that has completed the process already.
Okay.
Yep. So after we have done the completed the DO process, next, of course, we need to do some invoice to the customer already.
Okay.
So we go to the invoice tab over here. You will see that, okay, currently we do not have any invoice. So what I'm going to do now is that I will just take these 3 invoice generated from the system, and I go to the invoice input folder, and I paste these 3 invoice over here.
So hang on a minute, Max. So what you're saying here is that also this is similar to my ERP system or accounting system.
Yep.
I generate after the DO has come back already.
Yep.
I can generate this invoice and throw it into the system directly.
Exactly.
Okay.
So regardless of after you receive the signed DO or not, actually you still can generate out the invoice first.
If
you are,
so you're saying that I can like I guess a bit lah. I
Yes.
pre-prepare like I got 2,000 delivery that goes out today. I can pre-prepare the 2,000 invoices straight away, load it into the system.
Yes, this is what I'm going to show you in the system.
Wow,
itself.
okay.
All right, so like what you see on the screen, right? Just now we already import in 3 invoice, and you will see that only 1 is marked completed on the 3rd row over here. Okay, so that in those the system able to detect that this DO for this particular invoice is complete, so it will mark it as completed delivery. So for the other 2 that you are seeing, the status is on the pending status over here, right? Meaning that they are still waiting for the signed DO to come back in order for this to be processed.
Oh wow, that's okay. That's very good. So the moment the DO comes back, straight away this will be marked as completed.
Yes,
already.
correct.
Okay, okay. But can I ask a question? So after the completion, after the thing is completed, will this invoice be sent out?
Yes, of course.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah. So in our scenario here is that some of the customers, they have a scenario once the last stage is on the invoicing, but some of the customer, they still need to attach the SOA as well. So for our these solutions, there are demo inside here. So will be waiting for the SOA to attach along, then it will mark as complete and send it out to customer.
Okay. So not just I mean the demo today is not just stopping at the invoice, it stops at the SOA, statement of account.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So for this demo, you will be seeing, we will just use the row number 3, which has been completed over here. So it is waiting for the SOA. So what I'm going to simulate to you is that I go to the SOA tab over here. You'll see that currently I do not have any SOA being attached. So what I'm going to do next is that I have a copy of a sample document of this SOA. We just open up statement of account. Okay, that is relevant to the invoice. So I will just copy over this SOA and I go to the input folder called SOA and I paste it in. So just wait for the system to ingest this document. All right. So we go back to the dashboard over here under the SOA. We'll just do a quick refresh on the screen. Okay. So now you will be seeing that there is totally of 1 SOA. So the invoice and the signed DO that on the second tab, like in the invoice and also delivery, they will do some collations of the document. Okay, so once all this document is being collated, and then 1 copy will be sent out to the customer's email address.
Oh, okay. Also, it will be received via email straight away with the customer.
Yes.
So what if I want to print it out and I want to,
Yes, of course, you will be able to see that. You can see that there's a preprint functions over here. If you, let's say you want to print it out as a hard copy, yes, you can do it as well.
Okay. So it will come out in one set lah. The SOA, invoice, and even the DO,
the signed
DO.
Correct. Okay. Wow, so inside here, this data you will be seeing the status marked as completed, and also there is this email status over here. It will just to show you the remark whether the email has been successfully sent out to the customer or not. So the status here is okay, meaning that I have successfully sent out this invoice to the customer already. So I have a mailbox here specifically for this demo to simulate as a customer. So you'll be seeing that the email alert over here, I received 1 email over here. So inside here with the attachment, which all the documents we have collated earlier through our solution will also being sent out to the customer. So from the body, for the email body itself, right, you can see you have all this logo. Maybe if you have some advertisement or promotion from a marketing, right, they want to promote something via the email as well. So actually this solution, we can inbuild with all this marketing material to send it along.
So you are saying that we carry the new hockey star helmet. So that is actually an advertisement that I can customize.
Exactly.
So assuming if today the customer I'm invoicing the customer for coffee powder, but essentially I want I have tea that I can also basically do some advertisement on my tea products here.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's a very good way for the marketing team or your admin team, right? They will just put in all their advertisement as a PNG image file into a folders. So we throw into the folder, then our system will be able to like pick up from the folder and then to embed into this email body and all that. Okay. It's a good way to do some advertisement.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So without further ado, I will just open up this attachment to show you that all the documents that we have collate. All right. The first page that you are seeing here is the statement of account, and then followed by the invoice that we generated. Okay, and also all this signed BO that has been written to the back office. You also will be seeing all this signed copy of document as evidence. Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a whole set of documents.
That is so convenient, Max.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, you know, manual, I don't know how many hours of manual work has to be done in order to match the DO together with the invoice, together with the statement of accounts, just to generate this document. But right now, everything is done electronically.
Exactly. So you can see that we can do it within like half an hour for the whole one process.
Yeah.
It's quite convenient. Okay, so I will just continue. So let's say customer they have received this invoice, like what Brenda had mentioned, that the earlier you send out the invoice so that they can start the payment terms to pay the money.
Yeah, that's very crucial.
Okay, so now because we are in the earlier stage, we also mentioned about our document management system. So one of the complete copy will directly store into our DMS system is called Therefore. So now I'm going to open up this the Therefore Navigator, which is the dashboard for the DMS, just to show you that a copy of the complete documents is being stored within the DMS itself. Okay, so for this demo purpose, right, I've created one folder. It's called POD demo, just to store all the documents. When I double click on this DO, basically I can click on Find to see the documents that I have uploaded into the DMS system here. So the first record over here is the document that we have just completed earlier. So we can just double confirm this is the document. We can just double click on this document, and then we will open up the Therefore viewer. So you were able to see that it's the same copy of document that we sent out to customer. It starts off with the statement of account, and then the invoice, then followed by the signed DO. Okay, so all this process is done automatically. So without user really need to like sort out each of the documents and then file it. So everything is done automatically. It's a good thing that can save money.
I think this is a very systematic way to store all the completed DOs, invoice, and it's helps to actually speed up the process of looking for it, because customer service usually, you know, when customer call in, they want to refer to certain things. I think they can use the DMS itself to basically call out the latest invoice. Then after that, they can send it out to the clients as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Resend it to the client.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, this is the end-to-end demo that I need to show to everyone today. So I will just pass back to you, Brandon, on the on the slides.
Thank you. So thanks a lot, Max, for the live demo. Okay. So I would like to just summarize a little bit of what you have seen so far. Okay. Essentially, the whole order processes. Okay, we've actually explained to you the concept of the order processing. Okay. So right from the generation of the delivery order to the part where the delivery order gets signed, stamped, and come back, and then we scan it, and then after that we automate the scan in process to generate to attach it together with the invoice. And then after that, you go one step further, actually, to do the statement of accounts. Okay, I didn't mention anything about statement of accounts, but yeah, naturally, you even can attach maybe multiple invoices to one statement of accounts, and then have the entire stack sent out to the customer. So I think that's actually a very wide spectrum of things. So I just want to tell you that Canon's solution actually covers the entire spectrum, okay, of the workflow. Today, you've only just seen the order processing, okay, the order processing part and the invoice received part. But of course, we can also generate to scan in the invoices that you have received from your suppliers. Like I mentioned way earlier, extract the invoices and pump it into your accounting system for you to do the accounts payable process. We actually have a system to cover that as well.
Yep.
So from the capturing of the PO to the ERP system, okay, generate the DO to disseminate to the delivery crew, invoice matching, data extraction from the invoice to the ERP and accounting system, as I mentioned. I think we have the entire spectrum covered quite nicely. But of course, it's not shown. That will be for another webinar for another day already. Okay, so the benefits, the obvious benefits of this system right now, there's minimal learning curve. Okay, there's minimal learning curve because you can see that we never customize, we never touch your ERP system. Your upstream system or ERP is not being edited, it's not being customized. So there's minimal learning curve. So as the user, they will just continue to print from the ERP system to the copier machine or to the printer. But in between, we intercept the print to embed it with the QR code to massage it nicely so that you can print it out to a cut sheet paper. You can throw away the dot matrix printers already. Okay, I think that's a very key part. Then we intercept, okay, and then we impose the QR code, the smart QR code on the top, bottom and left hand side, okay, for the scan back. And then we also have a scratch and alert QR code to separately manage the DO that has the discrepancies portion. And last but not least, the dashboard view. I think that's also a very important part where as a manager, maybe he or she wants to go in and actually see the overview of how many DO, how many has come back, how many is still pending and partial and stuff like that, and what are the issues with the DO. So I think that's a very important part. So, okay, that's all for what we have today here. Okay, so let's go into the last segment, which is the question and answers segment already. Okay, so for those of you who have questions and questions that you would like to ask, please put it in the question and answer segment, or you can simply type it in the chat column. Okay, so I do have a question coming in. Okay, yeah, who are able to create or adjust the templates?
Okay, so basically, we will leave this job to the system administrator, like in your organizations, who is the system owner. So from there, we will be teaching them or to teach them or train them how they can do the changes or add in some templating and all that. Yeah, it will be on the system administrator jobs to do this rather than the end user.
Okay, so I mean, just to follow up on that question itself. So can I understand, if I don't have any IT knowledge, will I be able to configure templates on my own?
Yeah, of course. So because this the configuration is not that rocket science kind of thing, it's not that so complex. But if for an end user itself, there are some user guides that can provide to them, and then they're able to learn from there and to configure themselves. If not, alternative way, if you feel that this is quite troublesome and all that, you still can engage our solutions team to do the configurations for you.
Okay. So it's still in the question and answer. We have another question. Do we need to print out the sales invoice in order to upload it to Therefore? Do we need to print out the sales invoice in order to upload it to Therefore? No. The answer is no, because the sales invoice, once it's being generated, sorry, I'm just grabbing this thing to answer.
Yep, no
okay,
worries.
trying to understand. When you print out the when the system has actually captured the invoice itself, one copy if you want to stop at the invoice and not the SOA portion, one copy of the invoice can be sent directly to your group of customers already via email, and then another copy of it will be automatically saved into the DMS or Therefore. Yeah. So there's no need for you to upload it, to manually upload it into Therefore.
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Any more questions?
Okay, I do have another questions on
Yep.
the chat side. Okay, yeah. So they are asking whether or not they can customize to a group of people for sending out the invoices.
Sending out the invoice.
Yeah.
Group of, yes, of course. So maybe I would, if let's say if you can see from the demo earlier, right? Basically, we have user management. There's a tab called user management.
You want to go to the user management?
Yeah,
portion?
I will just
just
quickly
for the
go.
for the benefit of the
All right,
viewers.
I will just do a quick one over here. Okay, so I will just go back to my dashboard over here. All right, so you will be seeing what we call as the customer management. Oh, sorry, customer management over here. So inside here, we will be storing all the customer record, the customer code, the customer name. This is the main email that we will be sending out the invoice. And let's say it's like a group of users, they want to receive these invoices. We also can plug them into the BCC email address inside here.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So I can, like, for example, if I do a delivery to Canon, there's like maybe 10 emails that I need to send to.
Yep.
I can put all the 10 emails and I can manage it from this dashboard itself.
Exactly. Correct.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, okay, another question. So when we generate the sales invoice from our ERP system, can we upload directly to Therefore? So the answer is again yes. You know, when the sales invoice is being generated from your ERP system, again, we will intercept the printout and straight away upload it directly into Therefore for safekeeping. That is if you know the invoice you want to save it separately lah.
Yep.
Okay, but if you want the invoice to be attached together with the DO, then in that case it will go directly into the as a package itself to Therefore. But we can definitely integrate it directly from the ERP system.
Yep.
Okay, we have another question. Can we omit the SOA?
Oh, omit meaning that
meaning to do away without the SOA.
Yeah, of course, because on the dashboard over here, right, is this is by default, but let's say you have a requirement until like from
just the invoice only lah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we can just on the configuration we can uncheck. We do not need to wait until the SOA is coming into the system, then only to send out. So we can stop at the invoice as the final stage. So once the invoice is there, we can directly send out the email already. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I have another question. Someone is asking about whether or not this system can be used for other purposes.
Okay, of course. So because for this is a good legit question, because for this solution is not mainly for the proof of delivery only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's quite generic, whereby based on the customer's requirement or what is their job nature, right? Then we can reconfigure everything based on their needs.
Oh, okay.
Like, maybe you can have some.
I think one of the examples that this can be configured is actually for field attachment. Say for example, if let's say you are going out in the field to carry out certain jobs, you know, servicing, like for example, Canon. Okay, our technician goes out and service our copier machines. Okay, and then for machines, you know, there are certain parts that needs to be replaced, certain parts that needs to be, you know, there's a cost to it. So essentially speaking, that we can generate the service report and get the customer to sign on the service report itself. And then this can be configured in such to do the service report.
Yes,
right?
correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions with regards to that? Okay. No more questions. Okay, so yeah, if there's no more questions from the ground, I thank you very much once again for your time. We are at 10:53 right now. Okay, thank you very much for your participation
and so much.
Questions. So if there's any, I want to remind you, if there's any interest, okay, in that particular product, or even for Therefore or the extraction software that I mentioned to you, please feel free to reach out to your account manager and we can arrange a separate meeting with you in person to talk about, you know, to explore the solutions with you. Okay. Okay, so thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, on behalf of Canon, I wish you to be safe Okay, and then I hope to see you in our next webinar. By the way, we also have a Think Big event. Our physical Think Big event is coming back real soon. Okay, in November, end of November. Please, reach out to your accounts manager. We can invite you to come down to our Think Big event as well. Okay, then you can see the solution live in action. Okay, thank you very much for your time. See you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.